It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, it's the Brian and Kindra Show, and we are recording in our studio today, which is exciting and fun, and we got new equipment.
It's also very early.
It is kind
This
of
is
early.
the earliest we've ever recorded. It's 8:37, and you know I barely even got to work yet.
Well, it's all that. I bet you went and drove and looked at some houses on the way to work.
I did.
Got some fresh coffee.
I did.
I did too.
Not
But hey,
finished
I have
with it though,
these.
and that's the concern.
I have these right here.
Yes, those have made all kinds of stink around town.
So you know,
I
hey,
don't mean that the way it sounded.
if you are, if you're an energy drink lover, these are very famous and popular. So they are energyhomesales.com, which is us.
I know it doesn't look like it yet, but it will be in a little bit.
So hey, if you want one, call me. I'll bring you one.
Can you bring it next week?
Yeah, I got a case or
I
two.
feel like yesterday I texted someone and I said the problem with me working from home like I have been is that my boss is unsupervised.
As well as your
Accurate.
boss is unsupervised.
Oh, I'm unsupervised and you're unsupervised?
And I'm unsupervised.
Dude, you would not believe how hard I've been working.
It's crazy. I don't even know how we do
I don't know
this.
what I've got done, but I've been working hard.
I'm,
On work.
Okay.
Like,
Mhm.
but here's my favorite, because you know how my son is. I keep saying, Ethan, I'm at work right now in my kitchen, in my pajamas. He looks at me like I'm crazy. It's fine.
It's so fun.
Okay.
So hey, we are, real estate's great this year. We are moving some houses way better than last year.
Yes.
At the first of last year, we had our first closing on February 20th.
Right, and you've already closed a couple.
Like 6.
And it's been so fun.
It's been
Last
fun.
week on Friday was my favorite this whole
Yes.
year. Because it was a young family, and you know how much I love that. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, young
Have they had
families
their
and old
baby yet?
people. Oh my gosh. That's a different
Oh,
one. That was a really fun one too. Oh my
We've
goodness.
had lots of fun.
We already have had 2 young families.
That's right.
So that's fantastic. But last week already had a baby on the ground, like a little 1-year-old. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, so stinking cute. I have no idea what he said, and he kind of sounded like one of those giggle sticks. You know what
Yes.
I'm talking about?
He did.
He did. He's so
It was like,
cute.
"What?" Or whatever you
Oh my gosh, it was
yeah.
so stinking cute. But like he was telling me all kinds of stuff about his new house. Like he's proud and
It was.
so
And that
cute.
house, so just to say, that house was one of those that
It needs a little work.
it needed work, had multiple offers. Nobody could get it done. We got a hold of the selling agent and said, why isn't it selling?
Yes.
He told us our buyers really wanted it.
Mhm.
And so we put the deal together so everybody won. So the seller got what he wanted. The buyer got a fantastic deal on a
That's such a great
full
house.
brick house.
She said the square footage because you know I hadn't been in it until closing.
Yeah, three bed, 2 bath, 2 car garage, full brick. Man,
Okay, well she said it's only 1,200 square feet, and that house felt so much bigger.
It
That
did.
is a fantastic
it's a great
layout.
layout.
Fantastic
Yeah,
layout.
next to the park. So
Yes.
it sometimes it's just about listening and making the connection. So we got a guy coming in from Kansas City today, which is kind of fun.
I know. I'm so jealous. You get to do
Newbies.
that without me.
Newbies moving to town, and people are saying,
Super
"Man,
fun.
who would ever move to Woodward?" Hey, we got people
And you're
moving.
going to look at my favorite fancy house.
Well, yes, we're looking at like $400,000 houses today. So hey, if you have a $400,000 house and we missed you,
Man, you need to call us fast
call
because I
us,
need to
'cause
schedule you in the morning.
he's got 5 houses to look at, and that's it. So 20% chance of him buying one of those 5 houses. 'Cause he's buying them
Man,
tomorrow.
that's good chances.
Yep,
Alrighty.
fantastic.
So, market update.
We got it right here. So, interesting. It's just like we're on this cruise mode. Just the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, we're in the mid 60s range on listings in Woodward. So we are. We had 5 new listings this week. There's 22 pending, which we picked up a few pendings. New ones this week. There's 22 pending in Woodward. There's 34 pending in Northwest
So, do
Oklahoma.
you even know what you're saying?
I changed my stuff and we got 2 here. This is what's messing me up. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, that'll help your little ADD brain.
Yes. So, so this week we've closed 3 in 73801, 5 in Northwest Oklahoma. So things are still just pretty steady. So in the 4.83 months of inventory. So if we look back at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, we've been in the 4 That's longer than that. So back in
It's been
October.
longer than that. Yeah, we've been in a good healthy range for quite some time now.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for that because last summer it was scary. Really? You done?
Done. Yes. Well, and here's the problem. So like Laura and I was discussing this morning, like I was going through these stats with her and being like, hey, I know numbers just mean nothing to most people. There's like, oh, I start talking, it's like wah 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 wah.
I mean, that's how it is for me. But then I tell you what you're really trying to say.
Right. Yes. So what I'm really trying to say is I think we'd sell more houses and our market would be better if we had more houses.
If we had more houses to sell.
Because like today, there's only
yes.
5 houses in Woodward that fit this guy. Like if you could imagine moving somewhere and like, okay, I got to buy one of these 5 houses.
But the problem is if you're not moving in, then you're not pressed to it. That's exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
So if I'm already here and I'm thinking, man, I'd really like a bigger house, but I only see 3 on the market and I don't like any of the 3, I'm just going to stay where I am.
Right.
So if we had a better inventory, then it would be a lot more attractive to potential buyers who are moving up, moving over, moving down, whatever.
Right. So if you have that, hey, I'd love to move mindset, but I can't find anything I want, you need to give us a call anyway. So we can start.
Definitely give us a call. You want to give a number?
Yes.
Okay, so you can call Brian at 580-334-2303, or you can give me a shout. Honestly, if you text me, you'll do better. At 580-216-0090.
Sweet. Okay.
Let's take a break, and then we're going to come right back and talk about what to ask when you're looking for a home.
Sweet.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
and Jackie Jones
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the mortgage department at Bank 7. Bank 7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank 7 is an equal housing lender in MLS 677297. Phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
Hey, we're back, and we're talking about today.
We're going to talk about questions you should ask whenever you're buying a home.
Yes.
So we've talked about how to get ready to purchase a home, how to get ready to sell a home.
Home inspections, we talked about those.
I mean, we talked about a lot of things, really. But I feel like we could kind of even start regurgitating some of those. I don't think I should say that word, but because it's hard to remember all that stuff and new people. But anyway, so this one, I think this is a really good show because a lot of times whenever you're a brand new buyer, you're overwhelmed. You're like, I don't even know what to ask.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I hear that.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell you what to ask.
Yes.
Okay, so number one, what is included in the sale? This is my favorite one.
And this is crazy. So, not crazy, it's one of those that you're walking through a house and you see all of the stuff.
Wait.
There.
Here's my favorite, little kids.
Okay.
That TV is a lot bigger than ours, Mom. I want this house. I love it.
So does the TV stay?
Generally no.
Generally no. The TV mounts has been a interesting predicament, and I don't know. Like at my new house, they took the mount, but they left the piece on the wall. So the piece on the wall needs to go with the mount. So you need to leave all of it or none of it.
Right.
And it's complicated because now when I take that mount off, I'm gonna be holes in the wall, but we're gonna do something with that anyway. So, but then if you take that off, you got big holes in the wall.
That's just where you put a picture.
Or a mirror. Something.
Okay, I'm teasing. So, okay, so TV mounts. Generally, though, actually TV mounts should stay. Do you agree or disagree?
I think they should stay, but you should leave the entire mount.
Right.
And if you take it off, you need to fill the holes, putty the holes, paint them correctly.
Right. You really need
invisible.
to be doing that probably. I think here's the deal. If you're going to take your TV mount, you probably need to do that before you list.
I think so.
Like have it down, have everything handled so that everything looks nice, so it's show ready. Because then it's not confusing. So here's why we say that it stays. Because our contract says, I feel like you're really sideways to me today. Okay, so our contract says he's going to turn around the other way now. Okay, so our contract states that things that are attached to the house, right?
Yes.
And so a TV mount is absolutely 100% attached to the house.
Yeah, it's like lag bolted into the studs.
Yeah,
Should be.
so that's why we're saying that probably is supposed to stay with their property. Mm-hmm. So that's why if you don't want it to stay, we really encourage you to go ahead and I'm starting to say yank that sucker down. Don't really do it that way because then you have more to fix.
Yep.
But go ahead and remove it, pack it away with your other things. We've talked a lot about pre-packing.
Yep.
And then that way it's not confusing for buyers. As we're going through, ask, hey, is that TV mount going to stay?
Yes.
And let's handle that before we do the contract.
Right. So yes, and there are tips.
Surround sound.
If you do decide that surround sound stays, it's
I
in the
know.
contract.
Isn't that crazy?
It's weird that the TV mounts don't stay, but the surround does, and the system. Some people are like,
So
I'm gonna leave my speakers and stuff, but because they're mounted, but I'm
Right.
gonna take the receiver. Well, it's like the most expensive piece of the whole deal, and it has to be there to run. You can buy anybody can buy. I mean, you can go buy a receiver for Radio Shack or whatever, but So it's a weird that it's really not attached. So again, in the contract, there's this whole long section lists things that stay with the property. One of the confusing ones is the refrigerator.
Oh, the refrigerator is the worst. And honestly, actually, I'm starting to see a lot more people misunderstanding washer and dryer as well.
Yes.
So refrigerators are considered personal property and they don't stay.
That's
Period.
weird. Why is a stove not personal property?
Okay, so I don't know the answer. Like, I was gonna make something up, but I can't even make it up. I just know that I had a contract some years ago, and we typed in that the stove was not stay. Like, this was the buyer's request. Buyers said, there will not be a stove. We will bring our own stove. Take your stove with you. We don't want it. And the appraiser said, sorry, Charlie, you gotta have a stove in here before I can appraise this house.
Right.
So it was a requirement from kind of a lender requirement. It was an FHA loan.
Yep.
So some of the loan types require the stove, and I guess because I don't know, like in our modern world, I keep trying to say.
Why do you store your food?
Well, I know. I keep trying to
cook.
say exactly. I keep trying to think. Well, it's because you got to cook. You got to cook. You got to cook. But come on, where are you going to put the milk?
Yeah.
For heaven's sakes, the orange juice.
Yes, your eggs. You can leave them out for a little while, but man. So yes, so refrigerator, and I don't know how many refrigerators I bought because we get in the middle of a transaction and there's a misunderstanding and it's budgets were tight and the buyer maybe have talked to the seller in passing at a garage sale prior to closing and the seller said it's leaving and then they changed their mind.
Oh my goodness, I remember. I forgot that one.
Gosh.
That was
So,
a fun game.
And then sometimes they sneak it in there on the contract. So on page 3, you could write in there things to leave. And if you're in the middle of back and forth 47 times and they add it in there on the 42nd sign and you miss it. So, so yes, that's why we check things all the time and make sure that's done. So yes, a refrigerator is another one. How about the storage buildings?
Okay, storage buildings don't stay.
There you go, personal property.
Which
lag
is
bolted down.
bizarre to me.
It is. If
Okay,
they're
but
lag
I
bolted
watched
down,
that
they're
guy
not
move
lag-
one in for me this
Yeah.
weekend. That was the funnest game.
It was quick and fast, wasn't
It
it?
was amazing. I thought that was going to be like some arduous deal. Is that a cool word I just did?
I don't even know if it's.
I don't even know if it's the right word, but it's an awesome word. Okay. So, I mean, I thought it was going to be crazy and a lot of work. And I mean, it was. Somebody had to come and help I said help. I didn't actually do any of the work.
You leveled the bricks.
I didn't actually do that either.
Okay. You wrote the check.
I did write the check. Didn't pay for those bricks. Okay. So anyway, so moving the fence, that seemed to be almost the hardest work because there was this cool machine. Okay. Anyway, that was fun. I took a video. I'll show it to you later.
So that's why it's personal property. Because here's one reason it's a personal property is because a lot of people do the rent to own thing.
Right. Because a lot of times people owe on that separate from their house.
Right. I'm in the middle of one now, and they owe $1,000 on it. And when we get to closing, there's going to be a UCC filing.
I don't need another shed, but that sounds cheaper than the one I have.
It's a lot bigger and more expensive. So they're going to have to pay it off. They're going to have to pay it off. They're going to have to, because they're going to have to leave it with the property, because now they've built a fence to where it can't get out. So when they go to closing, he was like, "Yeah, we'll just keep making that payment." And I'm like, "Well, you can't, because they file a UCC filing against your property. You may not know they're doing it. It's not like a full mortgage,
right?
But it'll show up when they do the title request that your name. It's like a piece of equipment. It's like a copier machine. If I buy a copier machine and I lease it, they will file a UCC filing, which is like a lien.
Right.
So some of those buildings, you got to be careful about that, because man, I buy the house, I move in, I move all my junk in the storage building, and that guy quits making his payments, they're going to come pull that building off the property.
Okay, you ready for something else that
Okay, what else is crazy?
Okay, so this one is fun, because one time I texted you, there was this really ornate, beautiful bathroom mirror that doesn't typically live in the bathroom. So I texted you, you were the selling agent, and I was, you had the listing and I had the buyer. And I said, "Hey, what about this bathroom mirror? It's not a typical bathroom mirror. Are they going to leave it?" And you said, "The contract states." Like, you totally schooled me. And I was kind of sassy that day, and I just responded, "Oh, thank you. Consider me schooled."
Yes.
Like, you're being kind of a jerk. It makes me laugh.
I was probably driving and texting, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, now that I know your text better, really, you're always like that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think so. Like, you're always busy, and sometimes you do. Like, you just send off the quickest thing. But it made me laugh, and I giggled. And here, I still work for you, so it didn't even matter.
Crazy.
Okay, so talk mean to me. All right, so anyway, bathroom mirrors, any kind of a mirror, like a bathroom mirror, those kinds of things.
There's one in Creekwood Springs that was like this custom built mirror, and it just hangs on the wall. It's not like mounted. It was just
that's exactly what that other one was that you schooled me on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
it stays.
They packed it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we'll go get it." And the other realtor was like, "Hey, they stole that mirror," and I'm like, "I'm sure it's a misunderstanding. We'll go get it." Wasn't a big deal.
Now, a lot of times those are misunderstandings, and that's why we want to talk about this. So these are things that are in the contract that stay. The other thing that I think kind of throws a kink into some people's plans are window treatments. So I'm like an anti-window treatment girl. Like I like straight lines, so I like my windows and I like my blinds, and I don't want curtains. Like because you have to wash them, they get dusty, and I don't dust. So
yes.
Okay, so window treatments stay with the property. This is tricky because a lot of people buy their curtains to match their sofa pillows, whatever. So that's something, if you want to keep that, again, you might remove it before we list it.
Cheap ones, or don't buy any at all.
Pack them away, or make sure that we put that on our listing agreement and in our MLS comments that those are reserved.
Correct. And
then double check us at the contract time, because we forget.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else?
Okay, what was the other one?
I don't know.
Shelving if attached. So in your garage.
Oh, yeah. So my shelving in my garage goes with me.
Right, mine's not attached. I have one shelf that I screwed to the wall because it kept leaning.
Yeah, that's attached. Now it stays.
I would say it's attached, but it's really not. Like,
that's tricky.
It's tricky. So always ask. What was the other one? Fireplace equipment, like the prod and the shovel and all that.
Yeah, that's weird that stays.
And then here's one in the contract that says garage door opener, obviously, but then it says remote.
And the remotes.
So some people are like, it didn't have any remotes.
Right, which I think happens.
So that's like, we just did one yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, it said remotes." And I said, "Well, if there are remotes, they stay."
Right, but a lot of people, so 2 cars ago, mine was programmed into my little car, and I didn't have a remote.
Right.
Now I do. So now when I move, I need to leave my remotes.
Right. So they're like $40 a piece, and wasn't a big deal. We luckily found them in a drawer and had to put batteries in them, but we got them going.
Okay.
Here's one. So it says propane tanks if owned.
Oh, man, you're really getting into the...
I have a propane grill. I am the tank. I'm just kidding. Most of those are called the ones that are actually attached to your property. So
I think you're making something out of nothing.
Outside cooking units if attached. Flagpole, you have to leave your flagpole. That's
Dude, I'm
cool.
not taking nothing anywhere. But I do love my
I love
flagpole. Every house from
Yes.
now on is going to have a flagpole.
There's another one. Water meters. This is interesting. So Rural Water has a $1,000 membership fee. So when you buy that house, it automatically transfers. If the previous owner has a way huge outstanding bill and you don't want their membership, you can buy your own membership for $1,000.
My mind is blown. I don't have any words.
So it's weird. So $1,000 membership fee, and that transfers with the property. So
Okay.
Woodward, we don't have any like private trash. We have private trash, but they're not memberships. So yeah, it's kind of some. Just need to make sure, like transferable warranties. That's interesting.
Have your paperwork ready. We talked about that when
Yep.
we talked about how to get ready to sell.
Yep. So there's a lot of stuff included in your sale. That landscaping is another one. I just buzzed through that and I saw landscaping, but it says exterior. Gosh darn it.
I don't know about the landscaping one. Are you making it up?
No.
I see lighting and fixtures.
Sorry. Landscaping. You can't take your plants. If you want to take your grandma's
so
flower bush.
this one does get tricky sometimes because a lot of times, yes, people. That's the one I was going to say. I always have someone say, "Hey, Grandma gave me that flower bush, and I want to take it with me." Then you need to reserve it again. Better for you to go ahead and get it
Moved.
unplanted and moved before it's listed, so it's not confusing.
Exterior landscaping and lighting.
Oh, there you go.
So I have a big fancy bird bath with whatever. You know what? That's exterior landscaping.
That kind of hurt a little bit, didn't it?
Why?
Does your wife know that that has to stay?
We don't. Has to stay? We have nothing that's emotional out there. They can have it all. In fact, I'm calling the trampoline landscaping.
I think that's a little atypical. Okay, so we spent a lot more time on that than I thought we would.
Number one,
so
then.
here's another one that I think is probably a good question: is were there any additions or major renovations? It's one thing to do paint and to maybe change out your light fixtures, things like that, but major renovations. So did they knock out any walls? Did they help me on this one? Like, because
Yes.
this is your brain, not mine.
Yeah, so you want to know that it's like my mother's house. It's like a way old house that's been added onto, 6 times. And 10 years ago, she wanted to do a remodel, and I'm like, yeah, we can do it. And the contractor says, no, we can't. So we fired him, and we just did it anyway. And so in that remodel, we didn't have like an engineer. I just put in this massive steel beam with steel posts, overkilled it because I knew it was stronger than anything else in the house. And I've built a few things. And so I think the contractor was just lazy. But we got it done. And so that would be something important. Like if I didn't have experience in that and I just did it and I used 2x4s with plastic, you probably want to know that it might not be there forever.
Right.
So I would kind of know the major renovations of things they've done.
And then find a specific person, a specific inspector to inspect those and
Right.
make sure that it was done properly. And
Yep. So for example,
safely.
if you buy a house that doesn't have hot, consistent water.
Yeah, what do you do then?
Yeah, so when you buy a house, sometimes these, which is a house that in the country that's not inspected by a local inspector, that things aren't done maybe by themselves. They've done the remodel, they built the house by themselves. There's things that might not be to code.
Like, we're all for DIY.
Oh yeah.
All for it.
Yes.
But there are some things probably that it would be a good idea to go ahead and hire a professional.
Yes.
Or be very, very specific with your questions when you're investigating how to do a DIY.
Right.
And then investigate with a professional.
Yep. So
Right.
everything can be rebuilt.
Okay, so are you rebuilding some stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you are. Okay, so here's another good one. Age, and this one's hard, and I'm saying this like I don't even want to say this as your agent because this is nearly impossible to get the answers to. But I understand it's important, is age of your appliances.
Right.
So
And
when
you
you're
can
going
do
through,
that.
when you're going to ask, hey, how old is this air conditioner? How old is this? How old is that? You're better at finding, like, I'm like, well, the air conditioner's not green, so it's not that old.
It's not a senior. It was built in 74.
Hey, that was personal. Okay, so you're better at finding those. So usually there's a little tag, and a lot of times you can research and find the age of those. We can ask the seller if they remember replacing it, those kinds of details. The roof, generally the roof has been, is easier to know.
2012.
Yeah, most of Woodward is 2012. There's also a lot of 2008s. Did we have a big storm in 8?
7, end of 7.
Got it,
Yeah,
okay. So anyway, so those are good questions to ask and push us a little bit. It's hard for me to remember to do that, honestly. Whenever I'm showing the house and you ask me that, a lot of times by the time we get to the last house, like my brain is dumb,
right.
And I don't remember squat.
So when you nail down,
Except I know your kids' age and they're
yeah.
So ask me that twice. All right. Any hazards or safety risks, that's supposed to be included on disclosures, as is renovations, as is all of these other things. But sometimes whenever we go through and we fill out our property condition disclosures, I say I don't fill them out very often, but I don't ever fill out yours. I've noticed with our sellers when they fill those out, a lot of times if you've lived in your home forever, and I tell the story every time, but we had a transaction, you had the seller, I had the buyer, we worked for different companies, you called me in the middle and you go, hey, seller just mentioned that they ride out their sewer line every 18 months. Do you consider that normal? I said, well, no, I don't consider that normal. And I'm like, I've never had to do that, and I'm 35 years old or whatever back then. I guess I was younger. I'm just pretending like I'm still young. And you're like, yeah, it's not normal for me either. But he's done it so long, he thinks it's normal. So when they're filling out disclosures, a lot of those things say a normal working order. And we have found that a lot of people have a different idea of what normal working order is. So keep that in your brain as part of consideration whenever you look at property condition disclosures. Secondly, when you live in your house for 20 years, you kind of forget what you did or what you didn't do. And some things I do feel major, like whenever I replaced my water faucet in my bathroom, frankly, that felt major. Like I want to write that on everything. I did it by myself, right? It's not really major. But the flip side is you'll do something, like you remodeled your mom's house and put in a beam and you're like, that was no big deal. So we have different ideas of what's normal, what's major, so it's important to pay attention to those things and ask very specific questions.
Right, like a drippy faucet. I've replaced every gasket in my stinking house like 4 times.
Just replace your faucet.
I did.
You can do it.
I just replaced half of them like 2 months ago. All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back.
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861.
Hey, we are back, and we're going to wrap up this show. We've got a few seconds left. We were talking about important things to ask when you're buying a home. Man, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the main deal.
No, definitely ask. We had a buyer recently, and she asked a lot of questions. She kept saying she was sorry, and I love it. It's good for us. It keeps us on our toes, and it's good. Ask.
Yeah. So we are, so the lots of things we talked about today. And if you hear something on here and you got questions, give us a call. We missed a few things. Maybe we'll do another show.
We get the things we see the most, though.
Yes. And so, hey, it's a great season. Things are picking up around Woodward. We're going to see some excitement. If you guys are out looking to buy or sell a house or contemplating buying a house in the next 3 or 4 months, give us a shout, 580-334-2303, and we'll see you soon.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.